she's calling back. We're going to try to give her a call again, and then she just added another phone number to the 13-year-old grandson who's possibly with the daughter. Step out with this.
2412.
Veteran crisis hotline's calling in, so they have a female veteran off her medication. She's at work to Safe Haven. Attacking 12, take a check that one out.
6-1 bullet, 2-1 try to get shots going.
Officer still stands for talk? No. Offender in custody? Temporary with thanks. Anyone else close, wait to see result, let me know. Come first number. 10-4. You're attacking 12, take the check that one out.
6-1 bullet, 2-1 try to get shots going.
Officer still stands for talk? Offender in custody? Temporary with anyone else close, wait to see result, let me know. 10-5, 33.
3-3, can you let us supervise and application for the correct attack?
1830.
Yeah, possible Sheridan and Wilson.
Come first number. 10-4. Where's Stella?
All right, here we go. Yeah, we get 2 rounds of the saxophone tonight. I apologize. And thank you all for being here. Let me get this switched up. Thank you all for being here. Appreciate it very much. I don't know. There's so much to talk about tonight. There's so much to talk about. Still no response. I don't know. Anybody out here in the community, if you've sent a letter, have you gotten a response yet? I still haven't. And like I said, if I get a response, if I'm not live, I'll do a little short video or a community post or something. So you'll know as soon as I get a response. Unfortunately, I don't have one yet. It's been quite a while. It doesn't make sense, doesn't it? Especially when we watch the videos and they say themselves. It's about getting the information to the public. So hopefully these missing loved ones can get found quicker, right? What's wrong with the time and location? I want to say shout out to Granny. I was in her show, showing some support for a little bit before my show. I want to say thank you, Granny. She's going to cover I did a short video, and I want to say shout out to Narc Divers as well. He did a video this morning reading the community post, also asking the same questions. It's something we've been talking about for a month now. And she's gonna cover that video at some point, and so I want to say shout out to her because I think, regardless, and I'm not saying that the lights don't matter. I'm not saying none of this matters, right? The green hoodie, all the stuff we're going to talk about. I'm not saying it don't matter. What I'm saying is the topics tonight, tomorrow, yesterday, the day before, the biggest question we have, and we're just asking for, is the time and location of the sighting on February 26th, if it really exists or don't. Because it's a completely different scenario if he was seen Okay, time and location, foul play or not, it doesn't matter. That gets put out to the public. Why it hasn't put out to the public this whole time, we don't know. You know, the reason we've been discussing it for a month is because I mean, my inner team can sit there and tell you. The angels can tell you. And yes, Busby, you're an angel too. The angels can tell you. I've constantly, when it comes to every 25th of every month, I've said, all right, it's been this many months now because of the 25th, right? Because last seen from his mom when he was going to his bedroom between 9 and 10. The reason I say between 9 and 10 is because there's been statements at 9 a.m. and then there's been statements at 10 a.m. Between 9 and 10. That's the 25th. And when people, not just myself, when multiple people are reaching out to the people, you want to answer somebody just 50 minutes later from 12:09 to 12:50. It didn't take you that long for that. Why is it taking so long for a time and location? Because it's two totally different scenarios. If it was last seen at 11:42 p.m. at Beach High School, than it is of a scenario of last seen at mom's house between the hours of 9 and 10 p.m. on the 25th. Two totally different scenarios. The reason I sit there and say, if we get an answer to the real last scene, and that's why I'm saying real, because right now, it's been how long and nobody can answer that question to multiple people, time and location? This is a missing child's case, right? The time and location of a witness sighting is just as important as his name, his weight, his height, hair color, eye color, clothes last seen in. It really, I'm passionate about this. So, not saying that the other stuff that we're going to discuss is less, but what I'm saying is we need the answer first before we discuss flashlights, before we discuss green hoodie, before we do shows on all this other stuff. We need to talk about the last scene. Because just to say in the area of Stafford Court, that's not good enough. That's not good enough for Sebastian either. It's not good enough. And to sit there and think that we can just not respond to the general public, where this case also affects any other missing persons case in the world, not just the United States, but in the world. Because if you can't answer a simple question as to time and location of the witness sighting, well, what are we doing? What are we doing then? Foul play or not? What are we doing? You answer that question first, then all the flashlights and the green hoodies and the scanned images, satellite photos, all of the old interviews, all this other stuff. That stuff doesn't compare to last seen. Because we could talk about all that other stuff right now, and guess what? because we're talking about it as if he was last seen on February 26th, right? But what happens if, in fact, that witness sighting is not true? Oh, gosh, now we got to go back again and re-go over this stuff, because now it takes on a different meaning. And what I'm trying to say is that takes time. Time that Sebastian doesn't have. Think of all the hours that we're focusing on all these other things. And they do mean a lot, right? I'm not saying they don't. But think of all the time that has been spent on all these other things when we should have been spending it on last scene. Because what happens if it doesn't exist? Then the last scene goes back to mom's house, and then all of a sudden we got to redo the same work we just did when we already are losing time to try and find Sebastian. The last thing we need is to have all this extra stuff piled on our plates just to try and find Sebastian, when all we had to do was put the pressure in the first place of the last scene. Let's do it for Sebastian. And I want to say shout out to Granny. Thank you very much. I'll drop your channel here in a second. I want to say thank you very much. And please go show her some love when she's covering the video that I put out, the 30-minute. It's like, because it got to a point, y'all. It got to a point because I'm sitting there going, nobody, I made the video where I went through everything, the statements and the posts and all this other stuff. I made that video only 150 minutes, right? An hour and 50 minutes. An hour and 50 minutes. That's it. I literally kept the show short, hoping that it would it would bring more awareness, right? And as I'm sitting here and it's like, okay, the days are going by, the weeks are going by. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, it's still about this and that and this and that, when we're sitting here this whole time still waiting for an answer to a time and location. Sebastian doesn't have the extra time. This is why it's one of the only times, and it's probably the only time that I can think of, that literally when I cut down, I literally took the hour and 50-minute version, and today I cut it down to 30. Because I'm like, this is, I don't know what else I can do. I got to explain why I came out with the community post, because there's some people that are just coming across the community post that didn't see going through all the statements, and they're like, no, this is not the facts. And it's like, duh, because these are all part of statements that LE made. Let me put out a 30-minute video. Let me condense it, so that way it's easier. Because this is important. This is the most important right now. And I don't even care if I get an answer. I've told you that when I first put out the community post and I did the show. I said, I don't care if I get the answer and I'm the one showing the answer on a video, right? I don't care. What I do care about is the fact that it gets answered. Because you can't tell me the time and location of the witness sighting on February 26th doesn't matter and shouldn't have been released to the public from the first time that it was noticed or witnessed, foul play or not. I'm sitting here talking about Coffin Daffer days ago. Coffin Daffer, would you please talk about the last scene? I've been in the chats. Would you please talk about the last scene? No, it's about flashlights. It's like, come on, Coffin Daffer. What other investigation do you know of where if there is a witness sighting of somebody, even if it's another crime, if there's a witness sighting of somebody in a crime, perpetrator or victim, does the time and location not get put out? What other investigation have you been a part of where you can say that has happened? I mean, it's these things that I'm sitting here trying to reach out. We can talk about all this stuff. Guess what? The flashlights mean one thing when he was last seen on February 26th, but do the flashlights mean completely something else with a lot more validation? If we find out the witness statement is not true on the 26th? This is why it needs to be answered. I don't need it answered. They can answer number 450. They can answer number 4050. They can answer number 44,500. I don't care. And I hope they put it out there if they get a response, because I don't care who it is. What I do care about is Sebastian. What I do care about is Sebastian being able to have the last time and location of somebody that's seen him and where they seen him, so people know. It's about finding Sebastian. Does the witness time and location help us get closer? No matter what the answer is, you better, yeah, it does. Because either we know a certain time and a certain place he was at, and we can go, all right, here we go. Or if we find out the answer is not true, we also get closer to finding Sebastian, right? And even if there's foul play, and they're saying no foul play, even if there is foul play, it never hinders any investigation. This is why I was asking Jennifer Coffin-Daffer, what other investigation do you know of where this has taken place? Any foul play investigation will include a time and a location of a witness sighting, and it doesn't ever hinder any investigation 100%. In fact, it does nothing but help an investigation 150%. That's why I keep encouraging. That's why I'm going to continue and talk about it every intro of every show until we get an answer, until somebody gets an answer, because Sebastian deserves the answer. It wasn't even a topic until a month ago from us, because the whole time, like I was saying earlier, I was sitting there every 25th, I would tell my team, here's the next month, prayers and all this stuff, you know? And then all of a sudden, this last scene, and I'm sitting there going, it was December. You know what I'm saying? The 25th of December, and I'm like, oh, this is tough. It's Christmas. It's 11, you know, it's 10 months now. It's 10 months. Oh, this has got to be a horrible Christmas, you know. Hopefully today's the day that they find him, you know. And then the next day I'm seeing all these 10-month videos, and I'm going, what? What is this 10-month? The 10 months was on Christmas. What are all these 10-month videos people are doing? So then I really start looking at this. I'm like, okay, but it says it just says in the area. I start looking at me and the team. We're gathering all the different statements and all this other stuff, and we're looking into it. And I'm like, no, you guys, no. We need to start talking about this. That's why right after Christmas we started talking about it. Been talking about it ever since, and I'm not going to stop because there's no reason whatsoever there shouldn't be an answer to a time and location if the witness sighting was real. Now, I told you guys before, I did a show a couple shows ago where I did the dispatch audio. You can see it in the live section in the title where I go through the dispatch audio. I show you guys them naming the locations that are by all these different statements. And if you're using the dispatch audio events that took place as your sighting for Sebastian Rogers in the morning hours of February 2024, then why haven't you been able to give a time and location? Because you say it yourself. It's about making sure the public gets the information. So hopefully, especially time, location, clothing, when it comes to try and find these missing loved ones, hopefully quicker. It's your own words. Just like the community post, just like all the statements, everything that I'm discussing, it's your own words. I'm just asking a simple question. I even did the work for you with the community post. I broke it all down for you. I'm just asking what's true and what's not true. Because even if you don't want to come out with a new statement, at least we know what's true and not true when it comes to the community posts that I put out there for you. Now, it might be a little bit too much. Some people have just sent, can you please share the time and location of the witness sighting on February 26th? And they don't even get answers as well. Again, anybody that is in chat right now, or if you're watching on replay and you've sent a letter out to any of the agencies involved, have any of you gotten a response from any of them regarding the time and location of the witness sighting on February 26th? Let me know. I'll take a couple sips of coffee. I'm not saying because you're going to get the automated message, hey, we don't monitor this 24/7. It comes automatic when you send it. But when it... Yeah, that's what I thought. And why is that? Please. It's the first time I ever tagged a whole bunch of people in my video on YouTube. It's the first time I tagged a whole, News Nation, Court TV, Coffin Daffer, Dog, Deception Detective, right? Deception Detective. Dude, right? Who wouldn't be like Deception Detective going through the video? You know what I'm saying? It's like, look, people, this is what here's the letter, right? Here's the letter. Here's all the different statements, the dates, the who sent, who stated it, who posted it. You want to talk about deception, right? The fact that none of us have gotten a response. Maybe he could send out the letter too. Or just simply ask, when was the last time and location Sebastian was seen on the 26th, right? Deception detective, right? It's deception already. I can't help how passionate I am about this because, like I said, I sit there and I think about the family that's in the middle of nowhere somewhere where they're missing their loved one and they get the same generalized in the area on the next day, even though the night before could be suspicious. I mean, right? And they don't have the movement and the community that Sebastian has. And they're having to sit at their house, continue to miss their loved one, and accept this in the area. This is more than just Sebastian. This is the world. This is for anybody that ends up missing somebody they love. And they're in the middle of nowhere. It has no attention. And they're sitting there going, I wish we didn't have to accept this generalized in the area, but it's all we got. No, it's not. No, it's not, family in the middle of nowhere. That's why it means so much right now. Who has access to Caltopo, K-Crime? Do you? Because I don't. I haven't had access to that Caltopo for a long time. And that's nice. They have an exact location. But how about Ellie comes out and states the time and the location? Take a screenshot and send it to me. But again, what's the statement that we're going to go off of? Here, let me pull it up real quick. Because this is all we can go off of. That's all we can go off of. Does that say in his yard? It says in the area of Stafford Court. Yeah, we haven't had access to that map for a long time. So, what's wrong with the time and location? If there is, listen. If there was, then how come nobody? Why has nobody gotten a response? Why has nobody gotten one response for over 2 weeks? Some people, it was emailed way back. And then on the 4th is when I was bringing attention to it, but it was already made before that. I just didn't want to put out the community post before I did the show, because just like today, people saw just the community post and it was like, no, there's more to it. And it's not me saying these things, you got to watch the video. That's exactly why I didn't put out the community post way back then. I waited until right before I was doing the live stream, and then I went through everything because it's important. So hopefully tonight, tomorrow, the next day, who knows, there will be, oh, it was at this time, at this spot. Because just like in the community post, when different people state 3 different locations, and then you add moms in there, so that's 4. When you got 4 different statements, well, which is it? Because to me, if I'm looking at all the different statements, I'm going, wait a minute, it's more than one sighting, it's multiple sightings. It's multiple. He went here and then here and then here. Because that's how I read it when I'm looking at the different locations. None of them say a time, just in the early morning hours is one. That's it. What's wrong with putting out a time and location? If you already have it, right? If you already have it, it should be very easy. It's just like, because think about it. December 19th, hey, TBI, was it 25th or 26th? 40 minutes later, it was the 26th. All right. But it's been over 2 weeks now, and nothing. It only took 40 minutes for the 25th, 26th, but it's taken over 2 weeks for the time and location. That sounds kind of odd, right? Again, Jennifer Coffin-Dafford. Have you heard of this in any of the investigations you've been a part of? Hey, dog, when you were chasing somebody, isn't the time and location a very key detail, just as in clothing, right? Have you ever seen this in any investigation that you've done? I doubt it. Just like I doubt it for Coffin-Dafford. That's why it's so important. 25th or 26th, just be honest. Because if somebody was like, hey, you got 4 spades and a heart? Yeah, I got 4 spades and a heart. All right. And then you got to show your cards. Well, what would you do if I got 4 spades and a heart, right? All right, let me see what you got. No, I'm not going to show you my cards. What are you talking about? I got 4 spades and a heart. Look, I got a heart, right? I'm going to show you a little bit in the area. I got a heart, but yeah, I got 4 spades right here. Well, let me see it. No, I'm not going to show you. Are you crazy? Doesn't that seem fishy? Just like, what's the time and location of this witness sighting that you already know exists? No, we're not gonna tell ya. No, we're not gonna tell ya. Are you silly? Come on. What if it was your family member that was missing and somebody said, yeah, he or she were last seen in the area? Well, listen, I'm trying to find my baby. I'm trying to find my loved one. I'm trying to find my friend that I care about. Where? What time? We can't tell you. What if it was your child? We can't tell you what time and location. All we can do is tell you that he wasn't seen at his mom's house. No, we're going to take over 2 weeks to tell you. Right? We're going to take over 2 weeks. Please talk about it. Bring it up. Discuss it. Share it. I condensed it into a 30-minute video in my video section. The last one I put out, it goes through the community post, and I even put it in the timestamps, and you can hover above it and you can see what part I cover here and what part I cover here. And I go over through all the posts and all the statements and who said what and when they said what. So then you can go back to the community post and go, damn, he broke it down. He even did their work for him. And he's just asking which one is true and which one isn't. Because you'll see the statements of what they stated, and then you'll see multiple choice. What's true, what's not true. Click, nope, click, right? I did it for him. You know why I did the work for him? Because I didn't want this to be a possibility. I didn't want to be like, oh man, that's too much, and we just don't have time for it. When literally you could sit there and go through each one and be done in less than 60 seconds. Done in less than 60 seconds. You can literally go through the 4 statements and the multiple choice and check or cross true or not true and be done. I did all the work. I did it for a reason. Because I didn't want that to be an excuse. And when when it's broken down to a less than 60 second, it's probably 30 seconds, y'all. I'm just being generous. When it could take 30 seconds to answer yes or no. There is no excuse for multiple people to not get a response when it comes to the time and location. Anybody out here. There is no excuse. I did the work. I broke it down. I chopped it up. I sauteed it. All you gotta do is flip it together and put it on a plate. You know? Still over 2 weeks. So if anything, please. Last scene, 30-minute video. Share it out. That's the question that needs answered first. Before we talk about flashlights, before we talk about satellite photos, before we talk about old interviews, before we talk about all these other things, because all of these other things that we are talking about tonight can literally be a completely different conversation if we find out that that witness statement is not real. It becomes a completely different conversation. You got to do it all over again. Sebastian don't have that time. We are going to talk about Green Hoodie. Crazy stuff. We are going to talk about the flashlight. We are going to talk about, is this him? Is this her? Green Hoodie. Is this Sebastian? All of these different things. Because I've already done all I could do. I'm waiting, still waiting over 2 weeks. I continue to talk about it in my shows for the last month. I'll continue to ask and reach out and try and help bring awareness to it. All of these different things. And then I'm going to go ahead and talk about this other stuff, because I can sit here and have a 4-hour show talking about the 25th and the 26th and showing you guys the screenshots and all this other stuff. That's why I put it in a 30-minute video. Anybody can literally take the time out to really see what I break down and to see, you know what? Maybe I can get the answer because it ain't about me. I could care less if I get it. It's about Sebastian. Maybe you can get the answer. Maybe you can be the lucky one to have somebody respond and say, you know what? Here's the time and here's the location of where he was seen. Maybe you. And if it is, thank you. Because that's the only thing that matters. Now, this green hoodie, we're going to switch to that. Give me 1 second because I have to, and thank you all for being here. I really appreciate it. I feel bad. Like, this green hoodie, right? This green hoodie talk. And here, let me. All right. Because I'm not even trying to show like the name or anything. Hold on. Hold on. I don't even like that. I need to adjust this thing. Hold on. Give me 1 second. I'm going to do this. And I'm not trying to be disrespectful to the baby or the person. All right. That's in this photo. Okay. And I think this is the most respectful way to discuss this. I apologize for not having this ready. I was slammed all day today. I was actually running behind, and that's why I was a couple minutes behind in the show as well. All right. Excuse me. All right, let me zoom in here. All right. So this lady right here. All right. When it comes to, is this him? Is this her? The person that is in this photo, okay, has a completely different facial structure than the green hoodie person. We were live the night when the video dropped. I was the one that spent the next half a day doing all these different zooms and edits and doing the same thing over and 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 over, right? So many. I only posted maybe 6 of them, and I made probably over 20, okay? I spent a half a day just going through and digging and zooming and double zooming, triple zooming, quadruple zooming, layering, and all this other stuff. And I'm like, I gotta see what, like. So if anybody had really done any kind of digging into the video, you would have known that the facial structure is completely different. Specifically, the chin. No, I'm not going to go through it again, but if you go through the videos and you go through some of the zoomed in footage, go through some of the shows where there's pictures, shots that I'm showing you, the chin comes down and out. Specifically. Down and out. You can tell literally by looking at this photo, this is not Green Hoodie. And the fact that people are sitting there showing this woman's name, the picture of the baby. What the F is wrong with you when somebody's passed away and they can't defend themselves? What the F is wrong with you? So as I'm talking about this lady right here, in prayers to you and your family, because we all know this particular individual passed away. But to sit there and show this lady's name and the baby that she's holding and sit there and disrespect when you don't even want to take the time to sit there and dig into the video first before you put it out there like that? What the hell is wrong with you? Shame on you. Because if you had a family member and they passed away recently, especially before the holidays, and they passed away recently, and all of a sudden they're bringing up your loved one, hey, they committed a crime. I have to sit. This is going to be one of these where it's like, what the F is wrong with people? Just like the next thing we're going to talk about. What the F is wrong with people? This is a missing child. This is somebody's loved one. And to sit there and make your bank off of a topic because it'll be all flash. What the hell is wrong with you? This is a missing child's case, and this is somebody that passed away. I'm sitting here and I'm like, man, so for all the people that are out there doing the clicks and showing this lady in a negative way, in a negative form, I'm doing it in a positive, in a beautiful way. All you have to do is look at the video and see that the chin is even different. It's not even that hard. Oh, I'm sorry. Tonight I'm just the heartstrings are being pulled, and they've been pulled all day ever since this morning when I seen this other thing that's like, what the hell, man? This is a missing kid. This isn't some... Maybe I just care too much. I don't know. Because I sit there and I see it and I'm just like, this is so obvious. It has nothing to do with Sebastian or, you know what I'm saying? It's hitting me here right now as we're talking. I'm like, I'm going to show something else. And I want to say shout out to the team as well. Because it's been a busy day. They've been doing a lot of shit in the background as well. And I want to say shout out to them. Now, oh, hold on. I'm sorry. I'm not prepared like I usually am. It's just been a crazy day. All right, so I'm going to show this. Where in the hell did it go? Hold on. I apologize. All right. So I'm going to show this. I'm sorry. It's going to be kind of a winging it kind of evening. All right. I mean, I have everything in my head, what we're discussing. I just don't have it prepped like I normally do because I was just busy with work and I had a lot of things I had to work on. All right. So I'm going to show this here. This is another thing where it's like, what are we even talking about here? What are we even talking about here, right? Let me blow this up. And shout out to the team. Cuz when I'm slammed as hell and I can't even like be able to chat that much, I'm that slammed. Shout out to the team cuz they're still in the background hustling and bustling. I just got it. Just everybody in chat, please do me a favor. Show some heart emojis for the angels and for all the work that they do in the background, even when I'm busy slammed and I can't even be around. This right here. Is this Sebastian? Just like Green Hoodie. Is this Green Hoodie? Is this Sebastian? Is this Sebastian? Does Sebastian have a tattoo on his arm? Does Sebastian have a tattoo on his arm? Does Sebastian have a tattoo on the inside of his right arm? Is this Sebastian? Is this Sebastian? Oh my gosh. We're talking about a missing child. Right, Katrina? Reaching. You want to talk about a reach? You want to talk about a reach? This next one is I'm going to tell you right now. And I hate to say this. I really hate to say this. And listen, with the Sebastian Rogers case, there's been so many. Is this him? Is this her? There's been so many of them, and you know there has. So many. Is this him? Is this her? When it comes to Sebastian's case, it's been overwhelming, has it not? And when you think about how overwhelming it's been with the is this him? Is this her? This next one, you want to talk about reaching? Oh my gosh. You want to talk about reaching? And I hate to say it too. But this is what I woke up to this morning, okay? Just like all of you guys, I care, okay? I care a lot. I invest a lot. Not only into Sebastian's case, but a whole bunch of other ones. I invest my life to doing this kind of work. That's why I do the work that I do, and that's all I ever do. Because I care. And when I wake up, just like when I see these and the other lady And I wake up and I'm sitting there going, what the? When these are conversations being had, and I even wake up this morning and I'm like, we're talking about, is this him? Is this her? And I'm like, you ain't talking about the last scene and no time and location? It just don't seem right. It just don't seem right because it's sitting there going, what the hell? And yeah, it's like one of the team said, man, it's another grainy photo, and it's like, aren't they all? Aren't all of these photos? Is this him? Is this him? Filters, light darkened, grainy as hell. Aren't they all? Yes, they are. I wonder why they're all grainy when we have technology these days to have ultra crisp and clear images with a whole lot of zoom, right? But they're all grainy. It does, April. And this next thing, like I said, this is what I woke up to this morning, and I was like, what is this? Oh my gosh, right? Oh my gosh, is there a sighting finally, right? And then I sit there and I watch the 2-minute video, and I was like, before we even got to the video, you said it was in November. It don't look like a boy, and just because somebody else said in the comment section, oh gosh, that might be Sebastian. What? And I'm used to waking up in the morning. I'm used to waking up early in the morning or not getting to bed until 3 or 4 in the morning because I'm still working after the show. And I come across their videos, and I always have, from the beginning of when I started into Sebastian's case in March. Middle of March. And this morning, I'm just like, how do you... It shouldn't even have Sebastian's name on it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not... What? It shouldn't even have Sebastian's name on it. Is it disturbing? Yes. Do you feel for the child? Of course you do. But it's clearly not Sebastian. If you've watched Sebastian's videos, you know it doesn't even sound like Sebastian. If anything, I'm turning the video into the authorities, because if it's in Hendersonville, like it's stated, I'm not putting that out on public airwaves. I'm sending that to the authorities just in case they might not have it, which they probably do. But let's send it anyway and let the fam... Like, could this possibly be Sebastian Rogers? Somebody in the comment section thinks so. So let's discuss it. What? I don't either, Busby. I don't either. But what I did know is I'm like, that's not... Look at the photo on the thumbnail. That's not Sebastian. So when we're looking at this and it's like, is this Sebastian? I don't know, unless Sebastian got a tat right here on the inside of his arm. then I would have to say no. Is this the green hoodie? Is this the green hoodie lady? No. No. And then you're putting the baby in the picture, and then you're putting the name out there. So what? People can take the name and do a reverse image on the baby and find out who the effing family is? Like, are you sick? And they're talking about that instead of what really matters. The time and location of when Sebastian Rogers was witnessed on February 26th. This video, 13,000 views. You want to know how many views my last seen condensed version has? 677. What? Something's wrong. Something's wrong. Something's wrong. Something is wrong. All right. I'm going to show you guys this here real quick. Hold on 1 second. So here's a video. All right. What's more jaw-dropping? What's more jaw-dropping? The answer to last scene, or not getting an answer to last scene, or look at him. You can see him right here. Here's a picture of Sebastian. What's more jaw-dropping? Let's go ahead and throw this up there too. Hold on. That way we can get Sebastian's face up there as well. What is it doing? It's covering it up no matter what. Hold on. Does that help? Nope. Well, here, I'll keep flashing it. So you can see him, and you can see this video, right? Here, let me, it's horrible. It's when it comes to the video, it is a trigger warning, okay? Because you guys, when you hear the audio, if you haven't seen this, when you hear the audio, it's crushing. It's crushing. It's crushing. So the title is Jaw-Dropping Ring Camera Footage Emerges. Is that Sebastian Rogers? Is it Sebastian Rogers? No, it's not.
Could this be a huge piece of the puzzle in the Sebastian Rogers case? Sadly, he is still missing, and there are no suspects named, or even solid leads in the case. I think treating Sebastian's case as a runaway from the start was the biggest mistake. My gut tells me Sebastian never left on his own, leaving his shoes and phone behind. I don't believe it. I think something happened to Sebastian, and there are people who know exactly what that is. Anyway, today I've come across some really disturbing Ring camera footage that someone posted on Facebook.
Yes, it is disturbing. Like I said, there's a trigger warning when you see the video pop up. Do me a favor. This video ain't that long at all. So in about 30 seconds, the video's going to pop up. Just turn your headphones down, mute it, whatever, if you're possibly going to get triggered, because when you hear what I think is a girl calling out, saying the things that she's saying, it's like, oh my gosh, what? This is not Sebastian. If we have to go to Facebook to then, come on, man, you guys see on Facebook, there's so many people. Who is this? Him? Is this her? Is this him? It's like, oh my Lord, it's too much. Seriously, anybody should be able to go to Facebook, see this video, and go, that's not Sebastian. Is it disturbing? Yes.
The person that posted this says that it has been sent in to TBI.
It should have been, because it's disturbing. And if it's located in Hendersonville, yeah, it should have been turned into TBI. But the person that said, that looks like Sebastian, that's when you sit there and you go, oh my gosh, she had piss in her cornflakes this morning. Let's go this way, babe, right?
And the sheriff within the first few days of Sebastian being missing. The original poster wants to know whether this is Sebastian or not, and hoping that someone can properly clear that up. And if it is not,
it can easily be cleared up just by watching the video. And if you do and are not triggered and you can hear the audio, you will also see this is in no way Sebastian.
Not Sebastian, then hopefully someone knows who this child is so they can get him help. The incident took place in Hogan's Branch, Hendersonville, Tennessee.
Okay, so it says it took place in Hogan's Branch, Hendersonville, Tennessee, November of 2024. When you watch the video, what tells you it's Sebastian? I don't understand. Everything says, even the voice. Listen to his voice. There's been plenty of videos out there of him talking at the bowling alley, and him talking at the video games, and him talking at the hockey game, and him talking in all these different places. When has his voice sounded like that?
We know Sebastian is missing out of Hendersonville, Tennessee too. The person says that on November 18th, noises were heard. The words "help me" was heard too.
Oh, yeah.
When this woman jumped up to check, they saw a man closing a child in a car. The man seemed angry, and they sped off, heading towards the highway. In the video I am about to play for you, a child can...
Right, that's why you send it to TBI. That's why I said if I came across it, that thing's going to TBI. I'm making sure it goes to TBI, because just because somebody said, I turned it into TBI, doesn't mean they did. I'm going to make sure it gets to TBI. And the fact that it had statements that this person, that they got in the vehicle and took off in this direction, could this possibly be Sebastian? What? No! It's a... Oh, man. It's horrible when you guys... Oh, my gosh. It's a horrible video. It is. But Sebastian?
Can be heard crying and yelling. I can't take it anymore. Before we get to that,
It's
the
bad.
poster also shared this picture of the boy running down the street.
Does that look like... You see what I'm saying? It's like going to Reddit for investigative evidence. It's like, oh yeah, we found it on Reddit. It's legit. Yes, Busby, that's what I believe. Because look, you got a long sleeve shirt, you got shorts, and you got leotards underneath. Do you not, Busby? Is that what you're seeing? Because that's what I saw when I first saw this photo. I said, that's a girl that has shorts on and leotards underneath. Didn't even get to the audio yet. But I'm like, hey, it's a grainy photo. I gotta listen to the audio, right? This is how I woke up this morning. And I'm just going, and we're not talking about the last scene? No time or location? Okay, the triggering part's coming up. It is bad. And it's a girl.
The poster said her heart sank as she felt the boy's features resembled that of Sebastian,
It's a
as
girl.
well as the area he went missing in. Some comments on this post mentioned that it does look like Sebastian without his glasses on. Listen to the audio. It's hard to hear, so this is your trigger warning.
Here, I'm gonna pause it real quick. Him. Thank you. Sebastian don't have this time. Sebastian don't have this time. It's really hurting my heart, you guys. Today, it's really hurting my damn heart because it's just like I'm sitting here screaming for a damn month. The biggest question about this case, the one thing that Sebastian deserves the most, and it's just like I don't even know. I don't even I don't I don't even know. All right. No audio. I'll mute it. Trigger warning. It's just like 30 or 40 seconds.
Could this be
It's a little girl. Sorry. I'm just I'm going to play the audio again. I'm going to put the closed captioned up. It's a little girl. It's you'll have to listen with ear. It's a little girl uh crying that she can't do it anymore and she's trying to get away. She's trying to get away. That's why I said when you see why somebody even on Facebook posted this, if if I was the parents of this little girl, oh my gosh. Oh, you if I was the parents of this little girl. Um and somebody put Sebastian's name with it. Or I don't know. You can't tell, Glenda. That's why I said when I woke up this morning, like I said, when I woke up this morning, and the first thing that I was, oh my gosh, oh shoot, what is this? Oh my gosh, did they find somebody see him? Somebody see him? Because I care just like y'all. And then I see the thumbnail and I'm like, wait a minute, that looks like a girl with leotards wearing shorts. With a ponytail, with like pigtails, pigtails. She's got pigtails because the one's coming out to the side, and I'm imagining the other one's coming out the same direction in the other side. It looks like a little girl with pigtails. And I'm like, well, just like all these other photos, grainy, right? I'm like, well, let me listen to the audio because who knows? Maybe it does sound like him. All the community. I mean, hell, we've had 10 and a half months to go through and listen to Sebastian's voice over and over. I think most of us, have a really good idea of what his voice sounds like, right? So when I'm like, well, I got to listen to the audio. When I listened to the audio, number one, I went, yep, that's not Sebastian because it doesn't look like Sebastian here. When I started listening to the audio, I'm like, that's not Sebastian. So I already doubled down that it's not Sebastian. But what was more disturbing to me is I felt like I was watching something I didn't know that I was gonna be watching. You hear where I'm coming from? When I thought maybe it was a witness sighting for Sebastian, instead, I heard some little girl crying how she didn't want to do it anymore. And it totally hit my heart because I instantly thought I've had my own issues when it came to mom not being around and it was just me raising and threats of kidnapping all the time. And we had to constantly get restraining order after restraining order on the mom because she would literally call up the school and the police department and say that she was going to kidnap my daughter too. She would literally call the school and the police station and tell them, I'm coming to kidnap. So I didn't have any problem getting restraining orders. So when I come across this and I'm sitting there, how can I not picture my own flesh and blood crying in the woods? Because you know what it did to me? I sat back and I was like, oh my gosh. That would be like if my daughter's mom kidnapped her and she was trying to get away. I'm going to play it one more time. And, I'm going to drop the link of the video. Go hit a like on it if you want. Um, I'm going to see if the closed caption pick up what she's saying. I hit mute on my voice. I'm making it completely quiet. That way you guys can try and hear. I'm not going to play it over and over and over and over and over because it's heartbreaking. And I don't know. I don't know who it is or God forbid what happened or what was taking place, but it sounds scary and it's a child and the child is I just pray that I don't know. I whatever happened or whatever was I just pray that that child is home safe. I pray nothing happened. I pray it was just some kind of I didn't get an ice cream cone. I don't know, but when you hear it, it doesn't sound good. I just pray that whoever it is okay. And I also pray that whoever it is doesn't, because people are going to listen. I could literally look up this video and find out where in Hendersonville, Tennessee this took place. It's not that hard, okay? Okay, here we go. We're going to play it one more time. And we'll see if the closed captions pick it up. If not, fine. If it does, okay. And that's it. I'm not playing it anymore after tonight. It picked up a little bit of it. So here's the link. That's not a boy. That's a little girl. I can't do it anymore. I can't go anymore. Let's just, we listen. I'm going to keep it silent for a second. Let's just let's take 1 minute. Let's take 1 minute to spread some peace, positivity, and progress for this young child, because I'm literally going to be up thinking about this young child, and let's just take a minute in silence, and let's just send some special energy for this child. All right. We'll go ahead and switch it back. Okay, let me turn the music back on. We'll get back into the show. Here, we'll go with the stuff that I made a couple months ago here. We've been playing it from time to time. I love the saxophone. But we've played this song I made a couple months ago from time to time, so we'll kick it with this one right now. Let's see. It was hard hearing that again. What's up, everybody? It was hard hearing that again. And then you see what the words that went along with the video. The words that went along with the video, and how it was somebody not getting in a car, or trying to not get in a car and take off towards Louisville. Right, Chantel? Yeah, that's been all day for me. It's like, even watching it again, like I said, I had everything up here prepped in my head. I didn't have time. I was running so behind. Usually I have it prepped up on paper too, but I didn't have that opportunity this evening. And now, right now, I'm kind of stuck in that spot where it's like, damn, I just got done watching that, and all the prep in my head that I had for this evening is just shoo. Thank you, Granny. Appreciate you. So, shout out to the Angels again. Look at the difference here. Okay. Now, I want to say shout out, because look, you got blonde or brown. Which is it? Dirty blonde or brown? You got brown or hazel. What are they? You got last seen Texas Roadhouse with his mother. And most importantly, the date of disappearance, February 25th. Love I would. That's why I'm saying I'm hoping it was just some child that got mad at mom or dad because they didn't get to go to McDonald's to get an ice cream cone. I listen, that's what I'm hoping for. But when I listen to that audio, hmm, yeah, it doesn't sound good. Doesn't sound good at all. Let me see here 1 second. There's a new post from At Night. And let me share that. So this that was the post that came out with the post that came out today from the newest update. So let me switch to Twitter now here. All right. And this is from a few hours ago. Let me flip back around over here again. All right. So with this public update, January 15th, 2025, search for Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. The ongoing search for Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers, 16, intensifies as At Night Private Intelligence, in collaboration with partners and collaborators, remains steadfast in its pursuit of uncovering the circumstances around his disappearance on February 25th, 2024. At this juncture of the investigation, we are actively pursuing 3 pivotal leads. 1. 2 leads indicating Sebastian's survival. These leads provide a glimmer of hope and are being prioritized with utmost urgency. Number 2. 1 lead suggesting possible harm. This lead points to the possibility of Sebastian's injuries and placement near a property associated with his in-laws. Our unwavering commitment. Each lead is being pursued with unwavering diligence, drawing upon all available resources, intelligence, and expertise. While the nature of these leads diverges, At Night's unwavering commitment to uncovering the truth remains unshaken. We continue to coordinate efforts across multiple jurisdictions, collaborating with licensed investigators, specialized contractors, and the public to ensure that no aspect of this investigation is overlooked. Your vigilance and cooperation are indispensable in this endeavor. Should you possess any information pertinent to these leads or Sebastian's disappearance, please do not hesitate to contact. So that's interesting. I wonder what those leads are. Because what I could literally look at the stuff. For example, this right here suggests something harmful, right? And then when you go to this right here, it suggests something not harmful. Something not harmful. When you go to this, this suggests something not harmful, right? So 2 not harmfuls and 1 possible harmful. Now, I don't 1 possible harmful. Now, I don't think that's what it is. because I've been seeing a lot of the other stuff that's being put out there. You know, the Chris Watts, tanks, the tanks, you know what I'm saying? I've been seeing that. But when it comes to leads, though, two leads indicating Sebastian's survival, right? What could those be? Sightings? Sightings? What else could it be? What could the two leads that provide a glimmer of hope? It's got to be sightings. Now, the one thing, when we listen, we're out there. We get tips like crazy. That's some of the reason why I'm so busy, because literally I have to go through a whole bunch just to make sure I don't accidentally not, I don't want to be like a month later, go through and get to this one and be like, oh, shoot, I should have turned that in, right? Because then that's a whole month that goes by. That's what, Hey, does this look like it? No. There's been so many sightings. So many. What else could it be? A sighting? But this is the more important one. One lead suggesting possible harm. This lead points to the possibility of Sebastian's injury and placement near a property associated with his in-laws. Now, we've heard, when me and Busby were talking about 155 Enoch a long time ago, we told y'all who was the construction company. I'm surprised it's taken this long. When did we do that show, Busby? Month and a half ago? It had to be. Month ago? Somewhere. Had to be like a month and a half, something like that. What? I hope it don't, Busby. I hope it don't take a month and a half for the last scene to get discussed. You know what I'm saying, bro? I hope it don't take a month and a week. Well, I hope it don't take a month and a week for the last scene to get discussed. But the possibility of Sebastian's injury and placement. No, they are linked to Hong's post hide and seek. That's why he posted them. Because that's what I'm saying. There's other people putting out the info, all the stuff you're going through, all the photos and all this other stuff. So what lead? Forget about the two leads that leads a glimmer of hope. Those are leads that are possible sightings. We've heard of all the possible sightings. It just gets diluted every single day with even the stuff that we brought up in earlier, a little bit ago. What's up, Dave? But this one right here, There's a lead that points to the possibility of Sebastian's injury and placement. Well, okay, anybody can come up with and say, just like us, we do when we're out with our searches. When we're out there during our searches, hey, we might need to look at this more. Hey, this looks suspicious. Hey, right? Placement areas. But when it comes to the lead pointing to the possibility of someone's injury, now that right there, that's heavy. What lead could point to the possibility of Sebastian's injury? Because anybody can say, I mean, hell, when we first stepped foot to do a search, hey, you got to check out this property. Hey, you got to check out this spot. Hey, you got to check out this road. You got to check out this area. You got to, I mean, anybody, I mean, shit, it was day one getting tips. You need to check this spot and inside this and over here and around this and all this. We get them all the time. But when it comes to leads to the point of Sebastian's injury, because even though we had a bunch of people saying, oh my gosh, promise when you go in this area, you'll smell flesh that's decaying, right? Oh, when you go in this spot, when you go over this area and you go to this spot, CJ, I promise you're going to smell something completely different. Listen, I've been around the smell, okay, multiple times. I know what it's like, okay? Different stages. So you're not going to fool me. So when I'm going out there, and I don't smell nothing. Anybody can send in those kind of tips. But when it comes to the tips of the possibility of Sebastian's injury, I have to sit there and go, whoa, hold on a minute. Because listen, I can't tell you how many times I've gotten tips or leads during our searches from the middle of March on about placements and injuries. I never put it out because I needed to go check it for myself. Okay, no, then I didn't put it out because there was no reason to put it out because I went and found out it wasn't even real. A lot of the times you can tell it's not real just by looking at it and you're like, really? You literally spent 3 minutes out of your life typing that up thinking that I was going to be gullible like that? So what could be the lead that points to the possibility of Sebastian's injury? That's why I say it's heavy. Because if this is being put out there, I got to imagine, right? It's coming from at night. If it's being put out there, I got to imagine that if they're saying this lead points to the possibility of Sebastian's injury, whoa, listen, it's got to be way more than what I've gotten this whole time. And I'm telling you, Busby can attest to this. Trey can attest to this. We've all. And I'm working on other cases too. So it probably doubles what I get. But I'm telling you right now, the amount of tips and leads that you get that matches number one or number two is it's overwhelming. It really is. It is to the and if you don't know, try it sometime. It'll get you to the point where it's like, holy hell, how do I even go through all these? Because if I did, I literally wouldn't even be able to get off my ass to go search. That's how much there is. And we listen, there's not statements, there's not shows, hey, guess what? We got this tip, this and this. That's why I'm saying if it's coming from at night, at night ain't doing that either, right? So when it's coming from at night and I'm reading this lead points to the possibility of Sebastian's injury, I gotta sit there and go, what kind of lead is it? Because take away all the other leads that we get as a team. And I know you all get the same ones because those same people are then sending them to you too. The same ones that they sent back in March, in April, in May, in June, and month after month after month after month after month after month. What could it be? So I know I've seen a lot of posts with people's made up faces on characters and stuff like that. I got other work to do. I work on other cases too. There's other victims out there that I need to focus my time on as well instead of caricatures and reenactments on somebody's video and how they're pretending to be CP and KP and all. I ain't got that time, because if I took the time to entertain that stuff, then I'm taking away from another victim and family that deserves to have some attention too, when it comes to my work. So where does anybody know or have an idea what this tip could be? I know there's been a lot of stuff that's posted. I know there's been a lot of bam, 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 bam. But I don't want to dig through a whole bunch of hay. So does anybody that has been able to pay attention? Because I've been working on another case a lot today, and I didn't even have time to really check out what's been going on in the background for Sebastian today. I'm just going off of what I have in my mind. So if you've seen this information, I don't know, let me know in chat. This was been out for like 6 hours. I remember that, the dirt piles. But what could it be? Like, that's big time. That's big time for injury and placement. Like I said, on our first day, we heard, hey, you need to check out this spot. And I heard from this person, and you got to go check this. I think he might be here. And they were suspicious spots. But we didn't. And they haven't either. Like I said, I'm sure they get the same amount of tips, if not more. They got to get more than what we've gotten. And they're not every day coming out with a post, 1 and 2 leads that he's indicated survival, and number 2, a lead that suggests injury and placement. So when it comes to the leads, there's 2 leads that indicate his survival, but 1 lead that indicates injury and placement. So it can only be one or the other, right? It can only be one or the other. Either the 2 leads that are indicating his survival, well, they couldn't have those leads if he was injured and placed, right? And you wouldn't have the leads of injury and placed if there was real leads about the glimmer of hope, because you can't have one and the other at the same time. So that's why I'm asking you, because I haven't seen. I seen some dirt piles and I seen some tanks. I I yeah, you can't have both. You can't have both. But the one that sticks out to me is and like I said, they got to be getting way more tips than us. They're not at night is not somebody to ever listen. They could have, if it was the same tips that we got, right? And that's what they were doing, they'd be putting it out every single day, like every day. Hey, guess what? We got a tip about this, and we got a tip about this, and the next day, and the next day, and the next day. So, what I'm saying is when they come out with a post, and it's like, whoa, wait a minute. There's a lead that points to the possibility of Sebastian's injury and placement. What kind of lead is it? Because it's got to be way more than the leads that we got and investigated. Because we didn't even discuss it like that, and they never have either. So it's got me thinking. Like, well, what kind of lead is it then? And if it's that strong of a lead to announce, well, then what about the other leads? Because you can't have them both. It's either one or the other when it comes to which one's true and not. And so I'm like very confused. And maybe I just need to look into it more. But as I'm going through and I'm seeing all the characters of people that are involved, I'm just I ain't got that time. Hold on. Let me take a look. I barely even drank my coffee. Give me 1 second. All right. Let me see. Character. Let's see. Character. All right, here we go. Yeah, that's the same guy that we brought up, right, Busby? When we brought up 155 Enoch a long ass time ago, and we brought up that same guy because Busby's the one that said, "Hey, guess what, CJ? Guess who built the house?" And I said, "Who, bro?" And he said, "This guy." And I said, "Holy hell, it's that guy?" And he said, "Yeah, it's that guy." And I said, "That's what the 155 means on the reward. Ding, 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 ding." Before it even came out. So I don't even know where I'm looking. Where are we looking? Does anybody know? Here, let me pull up Google. Is this what you guys are talking about? Is this what you guys are talking about? Let me pull up Google. I don't even know where this is at. Now, if you guys remember back in the beginning of April when we searched the construction area, okay? And then when I went back, what months did Busby, what month did me and Trey go back? Not the last time, but the time before that. Do you remember? Was that October? Was it October? Because it was the last time before the last time. I think it was October. But anyway, the second to last time that we were there, and one or two before that, actually, But the second to the last time is when it really stood out to me. And I showed Trey, because other times I was there by myself. Who am I going to tell? Hey, guess what? This is the spot. When Trey was with me, because we went together the last 2 times. When Trey was with me, the second to the last time we were there, when we were in the construction zone, and here, I'm going to show you guys. Okay. So when we were in the construction area, okay? Let me scoot this over and zoom in. All right. So the second to the last time that Trey and I were there, we went to this construction area in the beginning of one day. What I've done ever since the middle of March, every so often when we go down there and do different searches and things like that, every so often I will make sure that I come back through this area and I'll record it, because I'm getting over time the difference and the changes when it comes to everything around Stafford and this construction spot. Okay. Because not only is it important to document from the beginning, but it's also important to document throughout time, because what if we need to go back to this month and it's like, well, shit, guys, I only got it in the beginning. I didn't think. No. So the second to the last time that we went back there, I'm going to tell you right now, guess what? There is a drain that is covered up from grass. There is one drain. So when you're looking at this, what used to be the retention pond right here, okay? This used to be the retention pond. There was a drain right back over here that was in the middle between this area and the retention pond area. There was a drain in between the street and the retention pond. There was another drain that was on top of the grass, that was just above the grass, or I should say dirt at that time, that went straight down. Because I remember that I was going to go climb down in there because it was too full of mud and water at the 2 drains at the pond. So when I went up the hill a little bit and I said, ooh, I'll go through this one because there's only a couple inches of mud that's at the bottom. And so we lifted it up and people went down in there. So when I went back the last couple times, and I'm like, son of a bee, this thing really is gone. And I told Trey, and you can see it in our live even, I said, Trey, this is the spot that drain used to be, bro, and it's gone. What? Yes, dude, don't you remember? These 2 drains were full of mud and water. Walked up the hill. And I think maybe he might have been down at the other pond at that time. There's a little one right over here. There's a littler one right over here. And there was some of us that walked up here. And I'm like, that's the one I'll climb into. Because just like when it comes to the manhole theory, guess what? The manhole theory was created in the first week of April. It was created right here on the live search. And then I just went into it even more on shows when I had the time to be able to dig into it and show you guys. That thing has been covered for a long time. That drain is not this drain. That drain is not this drain. What is this drain? Now it's connected to the BS initials and DG, right? So I would have to think that in fact it's not there. It's actually up over here, right? So, when it comes, or I'm sorry, I thought it was showing Google. It has to be somewhere over here, right? By 155 Enoch. Where does anybody know? Because it's nice. I can still see the drain on the muddy part, and I can still see the drain on the grassy part. But when it comes to the drain that I'm talking about, that's suspicious. That baby was covered up. The other direction, go down the street. All right, let me go down the street. North or south? Silos? So this? So you'd have to go down here. See, this is probably July. Oh, this is April 2022. They don't even have an updated. They don't even have an updated. The tree line. Okay. But guess what? Look, you know what? You know what's also suspicious? Is these frickin' woods. That's suspicious too. But we're looking, look. I'm sure there's tracks there. They're tanks. There's people that got to show up. Okay. I mean, the tanks didn't just grow themselves. There had to have people show up. There had to have tracks being made. I'm sure there was a bunch of people there, and they were talking, and they were building and hammering and making all sorts of dirt tracks and all this other stuff. Yeah, there's a lot of trees along the path, just like there's a lot of trees right here that are suspicious. You see these trees? Here, let me point this out. You see these trees? Look, you can go right behind the house and you can literally get into these thick trees. That's suspicious too, right? It doesn't mean that he's in the trees. Even though I would love to search the woods and have for a long time, it doesn't mean he's in the trees. What can be? Is his blood there? Like, is his blood there? Is a sock that matches his sock? Is the pants with the stripe there? Is there like a school ID? um I I don't, I don't understand. I mean, that's just as suspicious as this body of water right here off the Cumberland, you know. Well, hey, guess what? If you follow the busy road down, bam, you're driving over the Cumberland River. Or look, if you go visit the water plant, look, there's a road that leads right to the water. Or you could literally go back over here on Kirkpatrick Drive and you could sneak through the woods and then go to the water right there. You see? Like it could all be suspicious. You could make suspicious activity of this barn right here off of Peach Valley Road. Look at that. Look at all that tree. Look at all those trees. Look at that cover. Look at the trees up front. Only certain people would be able to see what you're doing going down this road at a slight angle. Other than that, you're pretty much going to be covered almost. That's suspicious too. We could say everything is suspicious. That's why I got to sit here and ask deeper than a tree line. I got to ask deeper than tire tracks. I got to ask deeper than silos. I got to ask beyond that. Right, Chantel. There's so many places. I mean, hell, Busby knows the area the best. Busby, how many suspicious places is there? Whether it comes to water, road access to water, road access to isolated areas, all these different things. Dude, there's so many around there. There's a lot of water there, period. We could literally have all like, yeah, this is that's suspicious. This is suspicious. So when I'm like, what's this lead? This has got to be heavy. It's got to be a heavy lead. Because something that suggests it can, number one, it confuses me because I don't see how there could be leads that he's alive and hopeful, and then there's a lead where it's like his injury and placement. I'm like, whoa. There you go, Busby. Right there. Thank you. There's at least 30 ponds, 2 lakes, and multiple creeks, okay? Pick one. They're all suspicious. Pick one. Pick one. They're all suspicious. Now, it's confusing how it's 2, they're okay, or he's okay, and 1, injury and placement. The injury and placement is like, whoa, injury and placement. But then how can you have the first potential problem? Like, so I'm really confused. So hopefully there'll be more. Like I said, they gotta get the tips way beyond what we got, and they ain't coming out with posts every single day about each different tip from each different 20 million people. So when they post this, it's like, whoa, this has got to be, what could the leads be? It's got to be something, right? Right, Granny? How can it be both? You can't have one without the other. Exactly, bro. That's why we got to go off facts and logic. That's why when I see the tree line, I'm like, okay, not saying it's not, but at the same time, again, like Busby said, there's 30 ponds, 2 lakes, and multiple creeks that are just as suspicious. So what could it be? Oh, Busby, is this the link where I was pointing out to Trey where the drain is buried? Is that what you dropped in the chat? Let me see. This might be it. I'll drop it for you guys. So this is a video from 10/1. So it was October. Okay. He thinks it's it. It might not be, but here's the link to that video. It's from an October search. And I think that's the one, and he does as well. Thinks it's the one that I pointed out to Trey where the drain that is buried in that live search. So there's the link for that if you want to check it out. I won't be able to tonight, but yeah, the glasses were found by Enoch. But and Seth told us that when he came on our episode. He said that they were found because remember I was like when Seth came on back in, it was April 2nd, I think, when he came on. That's right when he got the Texas Roadhouse video. That's when he was telling us it took him 5 weeks to get the Texas Roadhouse video, which is where I think law enforcement vetted Green Hoodie. Because it's like I tell everybody, businesses are going to have the front door camera first, the side camera, the outside camera. Those are secondary cameras. The main camera for any business is going to have the camera coming in and out. And that's why I'm telling people, you probably won't see that video because there is a video. The only video of Texas Roadhouse you have seen is the outside video and a back in the corner video. You've never seen the front door as soon as they walk in and as soon as they walk out. That's why I was telling people, that's why it probably took Seth 5 weeks to get the Texas Roadhouse video, because they wanted to make sure the person that they were looking at with the door cam was vetted before they gave Seth the information, right? Because they knew what the outside video looked like already, and they knew if they would have given that to Seth without Green Hoodie being vetted, then, you see what I'm saying? You saw what already took place, right? When we didn't know that Green Hoodie was vetted. But when it takes Seth 5 weeks to get it, he comes on our show April 2nd. He says, I just got the video after 5 weeks of asking. That's when they had to have vetted Green Hoodie. You're not going to see the front door camera. You saw the back in the corner. You saw the outside. You still haven't seen the front door, and that's the camera view I don't think they'll ever release, because when they tell you that there's nothing of value to that video, they're still not going to release the front door cam, because then you have a whole bunch of people's faces on it that you get it? Now they're going to put out a camera way in the back of the corner that shows Katie and Sebastian, and you can barely check out who else is in the background, right? They're not going to release the front door camera because number one, if Green Hoodie was a suspect, it would have already been put out there. They wouldn't have released any of the Texas Roadhouse video Think about it. And also, when Green Hoodie is vetted and they find out that Green Hoodie has nothing to do with it, the last thing that they're going to do is allow the front door camera to get put out there. Why? So then people that are walking next to Green Hoodie are getting contacted and called and all that. No, you'll never see, unless it gets leaked. Unless it gets leaked, you're not going to see that camera. That's the main camera they're going to have. Any business is going to have before they have back corner and outside. It's that front door. Because if somebody's coming through that front door and they're going to commit a crime, or they need to look at somebody to get a good eyewitness view of somebody that committed a crime or created a situation, they have that perfect front and back view of the individual to protect their business. The back corner outside are extra. You always have that front camera. It's just like at home. You have the camera on your front door before you got all these other ones, right? It's the same thing. Let me see here. Let me see if there's any updates. Other than that, do me a favor, because I have no idea. Do me a favor. If you know where this is at, send me the Google photo or whatever photo you can find, because the Google that's on there right now ain't too damn good. So, if there's more of the photo, I'll look at it some more. But when I'm seeing this, what's suspicious? I don't even know what I'm looking at. What am I even looking at? I'm looking at drains, holes, some kind of drainage. And it's like they're in different directions. Like this one's this way, this one is this way. It needs to be turned this way. So what? I might have to do that myself. Take that photo and then turn this one so they actually go up and down. I don't know. I don't know what I'm looking at. Here, let me heart and retweet it. I don't know. Let me know. Take give me a bigger picture. Give me a bigger picture. I'll definitely look into it. And that's interesting though. I wonder, what is the lead? That's got to be a crazy lead about injury and placement, man. That's a wild one. And it scares me really, because if there really is a lead that's like, you know what I'm saying? Like a good lead that has placement and injury mixed together. I feel bad. I feel bad for the family and the loved ones. Because that don't sound too good. Injury and placement. And when I see him, I think Chris Watts, right? I mean, do you not think that when you saw those containers? You know, when we saw those containers, I automatically thought Chris Watts. Like, oh my gosh, I hope, right? I'm just wondering, what is it? What's it got to be? What's the lead? I know we got some crazy ass stuff in the past. We've got it from the beginning when we first started going out there. It was crazy as hell. Wild stuff. Especially if you go in this spot, you're going to smell flesh. I'm like, what the hell? What? So I just, I don't know. It's just like when I woke up this morning, I'm seeing this, and then I'm seeing, is this him? Is this her? Is this him? Is this her? Is this him? Is this her? And I'm just like, these poor families. The discussion about the armor, and they already have a chunk missing because their loved one's missing. The chunk is gone in their armor, and these, is this him? Is this her? Is this him? Is this, is just clawing away at the armor that they have left, that they're trying everything in their power to hold together for one more day. The last thing that we need to be doing is clawing away at that armor. The only thing that we need to be doing is coming up with a replacement. Look, we don't have the material to get that exact piece back together. Only your loved one does. But what we do have is we do have bandages, and we do have support, and we do have all these little things that we can help, because we understand that that armor is struggling to hold it together. And maybe if we can just all of us push together in opposite direction, and we can help hold it together for you. That's what we're supposed to be doing. Oh, it's been a day, people. It really has. It really has. You know, it's been one of those days where it's just like, what is this? And then I'm sitting back going, these are all discussions, but nobody's talking about the one thing that matters the most to Sebastian. And that's the time of the location of the real last seen witness statement. And the fact that it continues to be these different things that is obviously has nothing to do with Sebastian. And I'm sitting here trying to do everything that I can to bust my ass to try and make sure that we can get as close to finding Sebastian as we possibly can. And I feel like I'm doing it on my own. Just us, you know? I want to say an extra shout out to Granny, because she's going to be, I want to say shout out to Trey for doing a video on the post. I appreciate him. At least somebody's talking about it. Granny said she's going to cover it, the video on a episode tomorrow or the next day. She's going to be bringing it up. I got to say shout out to them, because honestly, I still don't understand why nobody's talking about it. And it's been a month. You know, if you don't know what I'm talking about, if all you have to do, and it needs, listen, this is why I took time today to make it a 30-minute version, okay? 31 minutes and 41 seconds. It's the last one that I uploaded, and it was from today. I literally cut it down to 30 minutes just so it was easier. There's the link for it. Share it out. Law enforcement needs to answer the question. They need to answer all these. And the only way that people are going to understand, because listen, even the discussion about the community post, people didn't go look at the video to see the statements and all of the different statements and who said what. They were just assuming that CJ was the one. Oh, well, CJ, she said 9 p.m., not 10 p.m., CJ. And it's like, no, it's more than the post. This is why I did the video in an hour and 51 minutes. I get it. It's a little long. That's why I took time out today to cut it down to 31 minutes, divide one half to the community post to explain the letter, and then the last half to show you all the receipts of all the words that are in that community post, because the only words that are in that letter that are mine are the very top and the very bottom. Section 1, 2, 3, and 4, all of those are their words, not mine. If you haven't watched it, check it out. Share it out. Share it to News Nation. Share it to Court TV. This stuff needs to be brought up. If it takes Court TV, News Nation, Jennifer Coffindaffer, any of these people to get an answer, it doesn't matter. What matters is the answer is had. And it's sad, because that right there will lead us, I really feel, will lead us, whatever the answer is, because it could be a time and a location, or it could be, we take it back. It could be either one. Either one is going to give us the direction that we need to push. The flashlight isn't. Talking about old interviews, going through Texas Roadhouse video. What is the last scene in holding them to the fire. That's why I got the fire back there. Holding them to the fire. Because this is about Sebastian. It has always been about Sebastian. And if you're really, truly trying to find Sebastian, you said it yourself. That information goes to the public, because hopefully the public can help find that missing loved one quicker. Again, all their words. Good night, everybody. Thank you so much. I might go hang out at the lounge after this, actually. So if you're not subbed over there, I wanted to do a reaction show comedy tonight. I'm going to hop off here, eat something real quick, and I'm going to see if we can get one of those in. If not, I'll be there tomorrow at some point, since we wouldn't be able to be here tonight. So I'll drop the link for that if you want to go hang out over there or check out the episode me and Trey and Busby did on the last one. I watched it again last night. That shit was funny as hell. If not, I'll see you tomorrow. We'll be back tomorrow. I love you guys. Thank you all for being here. Thanks for being a part of the community. I appreciate you guys. You guys mean the world to me. And so do all these people that we discuss on this daily basis. We got to do better for Sebastian. We got to do better. We'll see you. Love you guys.